Jai Shri Mataji. A very good morning to everyone. Let us all collectively bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini, and give ourselves a bandhan. Let us recite Shri Ganesh Mantra.
साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः।
Let us place our right hand on our heart and with all the humility in our heart, let us pray to Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji, we all humbly request you to please come in our heart. Shri Mataji, kindly enlighten our spirit. Let us bring our attention in our Sahasrara. Shri Mataji, kindly let us all be completely one with you. Risha Mataji, kindly establish our attention in our Sahasrar. Let there be no thoughts.
Years back, 30 years back, when Sahasrara was open, I found darkness all over. People were so ignorant. They had no awareness what they have to find. Of course, I found they wanted to find something that was unknown. But they did not know what was unknown, what they have to find. And they were extremely ignorant people about themselves and about their surroundings and about the aim of their life. I didn't know how to start the topic with them. When Sahasrara was opened, I thought of trying self-realization only on one lady. She was an old lady, and there was another lady who also started Kava. This old lady got a realization, and then the another lady was much younger. She told me that she gets fits and she gets possessed. Oh my God. I said, how will I give a realization? But somehow she got cured very fast. And she also got her realization. It's a very unknown knowledge. Also, human beings in their ego do not want to accept that they are not yet complete, that they have to have their realization. Also, their style of life was such that they had no time for themselves. I found it very difficult to convince people that you must take your self-realization, because they thought it is something imaginary. It is very far-fetched. And they only believed in gurus who would say, all right, do this much of ritual, karma kand. That's all. And they were doing all kinds of rituals with the kind guidance of their gurus, without knowing that you have to first know yourself, which is said by all the great incarnations, all the saints, clearly. It is not that it was only my idea that people should get their self-realization, but it was the idea of all those people. They said one after another for centuries that seek yourself. Even Christ said, know thyself. Muhammad Sahib said the same. Nanak Sahib said the same. But nobody tried to know that these rituals are not the end of life, they will not serve the purpose, and that you have to have realization. So those two ladies only got realization. And with that, I thought, let's go to the seashore. And about 30 people came with me. And they were talking in a very funny manner as to how they can get self-realization. They don't deserve it. They have not been very good people, all kinds of things, condemning themselves. And in that lot, I got about 12 people altogether, inclusive of these two ladies who got realization. This is a sign that the movement of knowing yourself is very, very slow. And people don't understand why should they know themselves. I was quite disappointed because nobody understood me. But one day it so happened that in one of the programs, one lady came. She was possessed. And she started talking in Sanskrit language. She was just a maid servant. And everybody was surprised. And she said, "You don't know who she is." And then she started describing me from the Saundarya Lahari. I was wondering what's the matter with this lady. Like a man she spoke. Her voice was like a man. People may believe it or not, but she was very possessed. And then they started asking her. And then they came and asked me whether what she's saying is true. I said, you should find out yourself. Because those days people were such that if you tell them anything like that, they would turn their faces. Only the kind of false gurus who would say, all right, you give me 5 rupees. They'll be very happy that you can purchase the guru now. You don't have to bother about anything. You don't have to do anything. So with that, gradually, it started working out. And I remember that these people who got realization asked me that, Mother, you allow us to do Durga Puja. Durga Puja was regarded as something very difficult. And the Brahmins were normally not ready to do it because they were not realized souls. So they used to get into fits and into all kinds of problems. So they called the Brahmins, 7 of them, and told them, you just don't worry. Nothing will happen to you because now you are facing the reality. It's not some sort of a Murti Puja or anything. It's a human being. They were quite frightened. They came down. But something happened to them. With great confidence, they started all the mantras, everything. And the vibration started flowing everywhere. Even we were very close to the sea. I found the sea was roaring. But people didn't understand. Except for these 7 people, they said nothing happened to us. We did everything so well. I think that was the first miracle also. See, the trouble with human mind at this level or at this time is that they have too much of self-importance. And they think no end of themselves. So already they think we are great. What is there to know ourselves? We know ourselves very well. So the basic seeking power is humility. If you think you know everything, you cannot humble down and you cannot seek. Even if you seek, they don't want to follow anybody's path. They say, we have our own path, we'll follow our own path. We'll do whatever we want to do. And like this, I faced many people in different countries who just came to listen to my lecture, that's all. But they wouldn't take realization. And some of them did take realization, did. They got it, but they got it lost. Somehow, this was such a funny story for me that I am giving them realization. I am taking no money for it, nothing. I used to travel on my own. But despite that, why is it that the people don't realize the value of self-realization? Then a gentleman who got realization in the first lot, he told me, today is a consumer society, as they call it, whatever it is, that unless and until you take money from them, they will never value it. Let them feel that we have paid for it, for our realization. So at the gate only you should keep somebody to take money, otherwise they will not take it. I said, but you cannot sell it, it's falsehood. You cannot sell self-realization to people. He said, then, you see, you won't be successful. With other gurus, this is the main thing, is that they just accept the money. Even they tell them, people bring so much money, do this much, there is a fees. And that's how only the ego is satisfied and people take to false people. This falsehood, they may realize later on, because they suffer a lot with all kinds of physical, mental problems. But by that time, they are gone cases. Now this Sahasrara has not been yet described in any one of the books, though they have talked about it. In our ancient books in India also, they have talked about Sahasrara, but nobody has described it except that it has 1,000 petals. At least if they had mentioned something about it, would have been easier for me to show that, see, this is written in the book. Because people are like that. It has to be written in some book, and that only they accept. It's a very difficult situation. Because nobody had given a collective realization. So nobody had written to that extent except for one or two people who wrote clearly about Kundalini. But I wouldn't say it was so clear because it was all in poetry. So people would sing the songs, but they would not understand. But I was thinking how these people who are lost, here and there under some sort of a seeking, what will happen to them? And how will I be able to give them self-realization? Experiences were so horrid, but doesn't matter. I went on and on and on, and I worked it out. Of course, we met some people who were also very cruel and nasty, who troubled me and troubled Sajogis. All these things should have really dampened my enthusiasm. But on the contrary, I started thinking why people are like this. Then I realized one thing, that we cannot have the whole world to get self-realization. This is the last judgment. At this time, people have to decide what is the most important thing. They have to know themselves and understand what they have got. It's not just having a big number that will help us, but really solid Sahajogis. Then I found there were people who got cured of many diseases, but most of them got lost. Some of them who were drug addicts gave up drug addiction. Drinking, they gave up. Smoking, they gave up. I never said a word that you give up this or give up that. I knew once the Kundalini rises, they will automatically give up. And it happened. And that's how people became so clean, so beautiful, and started enjoying their life. But nobody would believe them. When they went round and talked to people, they say, "Oh, you are gone mad." They couldn't believe how they have stopped drinking, how they are not smoking. They say, "We want to drink." And what is this? See, so the identification I found of these people were mostly with the very loose type of enjoyment. They enjoyed very loose type of thing, which had nothing to do with the spirit. Gradually, of course, it started working out. But still, I must say that we can't expect in this Kali Yuga to have billions and billions of people in Sahaja Yoga. Though it's my desire, it's your desire, and you want them to get their self-realization, by which so many good things can happen. Firstly, your physical self improves. Many people have been cured. Christ cured only 21 people. I don't know how many thousands have been cured with Sahaja Yoga. Also, there's another very big problem with human beings. That they read all kinds of books and they have no clear-cut idea as to what they should find. What is their seeking? It's a very big problem. And whatever is in one book, they'll try to follow that. I mean, like they are shifting type of people. They shift from one to another. And then progress in Sahaja Yoga is much more difficult. Very difficult. Because if you are going on one path and you start shifting from one to another, you may go back. But in that they find it is their freedom. Actually, without realization, you don't have your freedom of anything. Freedom is that in which you know what you are, you know what you are capable of. In the freedom, you are the one who should receive all the blessings. If these blessings are not there, then you are not free. There's something wrong somewhere in your own life. Because once you get realization, you become absolutely free people. Free means your own spirit guides you. The spirit, as you know, is the reflection of the divine, the God Almighty. If everybody has the same reflection and is awakened, then in the awareness, it works as if they know what is right and what is wrong, what is constructive and what is destructive. It is not some sort of a false satisfaction that you have, but in reality you feel the reality, and that is what it has to happen. The first thing in Sahaja Yoga that you get the experience of feeling the spanda, the cool breeze on your fingertips. Without the experience, you should not believe in it. That means a new dimension has come now in your nerves, that you can feel the system which has been not known to you. Sympathetic nervous system was there, but you never knew how it is working. The knowledge about yourself was so poor. But after realization, suddenly the whole thing got enlightened. Suddenly you started feeling it, the newness among us. Still, sometimes you have to fight your ego. You have to get over your ignorance of things. Because realization gives you absolute knowledge. Absolute knowledge. It cannot be challenged. It's single, ekameva satya. And when you get that knowledge, then you can tally it also. You can find out if it is correct or not. This is something that has happened to all of you. And you have already got those vibrations with which you can feel. For example, there may be some dissatisfied souls with Sahaja Yoga. But you can find out on vibrations who are those people, what are they doing. On vibrations you can make out if those people have reached that state of reality or not. You can make out if these people who are trying to oppose you or trying to tell you something else, how far are they? On your fingertips you know. This is what is Qiyama, about which Muhammad Sahib has said. The other day, I must tell you an experience where there was one fellow who came from the television, and known as Star. And he started asking me very funny questions, which had no relevance. His name was Abbas, so I said, Abbas Mia, you are wasting your time and my time. Will you come to the right questions? So he said, I am against all fundamentalism. But I am not fundamentalist. How do you know I am that or not? So he said, I am trying to find out. All right. I said, you put your hands towards me. Now Muhammad Sahib has said, at the time of Qiyamah, your hands will speak. And you'll be amazed. Immediately he started feeling cool breeze on his hand. He said, what's happening to me? I said, that's what it is. No use arguing, no use talking about it, no use inquiring. Just see yourself the experience. He just got so stunned. And after that, whatever he talked to me never published. So what I'm saying, if the people reach the truth and they know this is the truth, nothing can change if they have reached the truth, I'm saying. You can see in the life of all the great people that they think this is the truth, not by just reading or not by just believing, but as an experience. that on their central nervous system they can feel the truth, then it is impossible to change them. Like you can see, a seed becomes a tree, then you cannot make the tree into a seed. Seed is a seed. But when the seed changes into a tree, then you cannot bring it back to the seed. It may create more seeds, it's different. So, in the same way, once you have got your realization and once you have become one with the divine, then there is no question of you going down unless until you yourself want to go down.
Let us recite the Maha Mantras.
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasar Swamini Moksha Pradayini Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha
Thank you, Shri Mataji, for this beautiful meditation. Let us all bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini, and give ourselves a bandhan. Let us all meet again tomorrow morning, same time. Jai Shri Mataji.